Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome back to another episode of the Curious Expedition with mods. Now, why am I shouting? I'm a little bit hoarse today, to be honest with you. A little bit of a dry throat. I have no idea why. The weather's turned here. It's gone a bit murky. Summer feels like it's gone. That's how it is here, which is fine. We've had a fantastic summer in the UK. Tip-top weather. Kind of sick of all the sun. But even so, it's a shock when it does disappear. I am a summer guy after all, says someone who plays lots of computer games and stays out in the sunlight for the majority of the time. But I enjoy the concept of summer. That's what I like. But hey, I digress. So last time around, we played with Gary and his, well, let's face it, lots and lots of clones. And it was all going particularly well until we got caught out on a mechanic, which I don't think the modder foresaw. And, well, this leads us in a really quite bizarre segue onto who we'll be playing today. Because you know someone who would have foresaw the mechanic problem we had? You got it. It's Nostradamus. Michel de Nostredame, astrologer, plague doctor, and author of over 900 future-seeing quatrains. I don't even know what quatrains means, but it sounds epic. And I'm not one to argue with that guy. I mean, look at that pointy beard. Now, I'm not saying anyone with a pointy beard, or should I say everyone with a pointy beard, is evil. But let's face it, they look a little bit, you know, gnarly. There's something not quite right there. You know, to want to put your beard into such a point. You know, I mean, from an aerodynamics point of view, I can completely understand. But, and it claims to see the future. Witchcraft, I tell you, witchcrafter. But hey, as it turns out, he does take along with him 2 missionaries. We have a female and a male, just to, you know, to cover the basic sexes. Now we also have Donkey, who can always carry more stuff. We then have a scrying bowl, a clay bowl full of water. On occasion, you insist visions from the future can be seen in the reflection. I presume that's like the mystical ball you can find. We then have less propheties, a mysterious book of prophecies. Reading them to your crew might ease their minds, or the opposite, depending on their interpretation. That sounds a little bit like Aleister Crowley's Book of the Dead. Campsite, big fan of the old campsite. The treasure pendulum, never found too much use for them, and the green mushroom to sway off any ill feelings on any of our characters, which, you know, is, well, it's my favourite mushroom. It's my favourite mushroom. So let's crack on, shall we? Let's see how far we can get with this guy. No doubt he knows how far we're going to get already, but I've asked him not to spoil it for us. Welcome back to the Explorers Club, old friend. Have you heard that we are building a statue to honour our most famous member? Word is it that you have a good chance of seeing your likeness on that statue. However, I am afraid to tell you that you are not the only candidate. You and your rivals have 6 expeditions to prove who is the most famous explorer within our club. So we've got Charles Darwin, Harriet Tubman, Freya Stark, and Mary Kingsley. Now go explore, adventure awaits. Wada wada wada. So we did alright last time round. We did finish first, although the game crashed. It's broken my game. I don't know what the mod's done, but for some reason, whenever I log in to play the Curious Expedition now, on the title screen I have no music. I'm hoping starting a new save game with a different character is going to fix that. But hey, the game appears to be working alright, and as we technically completed it on Certain Death with Gary, I feel that we should play on Certain Death again. And well, we get the choice of 2 places. We can either go to the Desperate Drylands, or we can go to the Merciless Jungle. And they're both technically the same, so nothing really to worry about. I'm going to go for the Drylands, we can see further. Eagerly anticipating the forthcoming adventure, I made haste and arrived at the docks. The crew had preparations left to do, so I spent my time on the deck enjoying the cool breeze. An affluent foreigner named Sir Dair Ilamajed arrived at the docks. He explained that he used to live in the area of our upcoming expedition before joining an expedition to come to London. He had meanwhile developed a life here and requested that I find his wife in his former village and escort her to London. I can do that, you dappy dresser, you. I accepted his request to find and return his wife. He nodded thankfully and wished us luck. Now, before we go any further, let's have a quick look. He's all stooped over. So he's got blue dye, makes sense. Capacity, and he has the healer capability. He's capable of treating wounds, increases health regeneration of all Trek members. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. We'll see how well it works out in the actual practicality of well, the expedition. Can't get my words out. Come on. I had heard enough sea shanties to fashion my own opera several times over, so I was relieved when we reached the land of our imminent adventure. The land lay open in front of us like an invitation to an adventure. Coming here is a great risk which I am willing to take. Oh, God bless you, brother Thaddeus. And who are you? Sister Auguste. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hang on. Will you not let me look at you? That's fine. We'll begin. Thankfully, the rich foreigner had indicated the location of his former village on our map. I was curious to see if we would find his beloved there. Oh, me too. Me too. She's a dirty damn thief, straight off. Dirty damn thief. That means we've got to use a mushroom straight away. That's ridiculous. Sister Auguste ate the mushroom and was shaken by the foul taste. She proceeded to slap her own face rather sternly. Afterwards, she felt rejuvenated. Well, I suppose when you're not in a convent and you don't have the cat o' nine tails to give yourself Hail Marys, then slapping around the face is just good enough. Just good enough. And, well, that's where we need to go. That is the village. Let's see. I mean, that's not a bad place to be. 78 or 77. To be more central to the map tile, I think 78 is the place to go. We can still access the village. Hopefully we'll come across nothing in the meantime. No, looking good. Do we get to see what this is? No. Well, that's fine. We can hit those on the way back, so I'm not too fussed by that. There's a treasure here, though, according to my pendulum. We entered a native village. Its inhabitants looked like a shamanistic group. As we approached the village, we were immediately approached by a native. She introduced herself as Hakoj, and it transpired that she was the wife we were asked to escort back to London. Without further ado, she happily joined our trek and began to show us around the village. Nice! The villagers seemed to be very happy about our appearance and welcomed us with open arms. Our good reputation had preceded us here. Well, I guess we better rest first. We unpacked our belongings and prepared to spend the night with the natives at their campfire. An elderly couple asked me to settle an argument for them. They were inclined to know whether man and woman were deemed equal. Well, that's a very difficult question. I mean, Michel de Nostredame, I don't really know enough about you. I know you were born very early in modern civilization. When's the modern civilization start? I think I'm talking bollocks about now. I think back when he was around, to put it in layman terms, what's that? Wound treatment. Oh, okay. I think he would have thought men were superior, so that's how we'll go. I replied to the male sex is superior. The woman called me an ignorant buffoon and strode away. I mean, how would she know? She's in a tribe. You know, they've only just learnt to fashion like bush cod pieces. I don't think you're really in the right frame of mind to be telling me well, I can see into the future. That's all I'm saying. I can see into the future, and men well, I can see I'm digging a hole here. I'm going to stop. The night was quiet and peaceful. The following morning, I woke to the laughter of the natives. An undercurrent of trust was reflected in the natives' mannerisms. They remained kind and offered us more help. Well, that's good, because we're going to rest a bit more. As darkness fell, the natives lit a campfire and invited us to sit with them. I regaled the villagers with stories of my travels so far. A young warrior asked me if my village was superior to their home. It's not really much of a story, really. Well, yes, I had this idea of coming on an adventure, and this guy came and asked me to collect his wife, and I got off the boat and I came straight to the village, and here I am. Not much of a story, really, is it? Is it? I don't know. We don't know enough about the outside world to be making that sort of judgment to a young, impressionable child, man, guy. I told him that I would need more time to decide. Yes. The night was quiet and peaceful. The next morning I woke to face gathered natives. That's right. It seems my bedraggled morning appearance intrigued them. Oh, that beard, it's all over the place. While we still felt welcome, we could tell that the villagers had become disturbed by our presence. Oh dear. Well, that's okay, I guess. We can trade and leave. What do they have? What do they have? All they have is jewels. I don't think it's worth trading jewels. But then again, I mean, how much do they like the teeth? One? Is that it? What dice do you guys have? Greens. So we have no attack die. That's not good. How many spears can I have? Forever 2. I mean, we can pick up spears anywhere. But it's pretty much like for like. I could throw some rope in there, I guess. 2 rope. You never know. It might come in useful. I reached a deal with the natives. Tippity-top. In a heartbreaking ceremony, Hakoj said farewell to her tribe. As we departed, she mentioned that she would like to visit a holy shrine in the vicinity to receive a blessing for her travels. She marked the location of the shrine on our map. Of course, it's the furthest point away. Of course. All right, so we're doing all right. Should we press these buttons and see what they do? So we've got the scrying bowl, a clay bowl full of water. What do you do when I press it? Oh, right, there's the shrine, okay. And then we have less profits. Reading them to your crew might ease their minds, or the opposite, depending on their interpretation. Let's press that. Oh, it gives you sanity. Wow. A little bit of sanity, nothing to get too excited about. We'll hit that shrine on the way back. That makes sense. We need to find a way across this gaping chasm we have here. Let's mount that hill there. That should tell us. Wow, it's very chasmy. Very, very chasmy. Okay, well, 23. Let's go here next, I guess. A shrine. There might be some food here. I mean, we could upgrade somebody. We'll upgrade the guy because he's a bit more loyal than the girl. And that'll give us a little bit more sanity as well, I think. There we go. Tippity-top. I inspected the mysterious, more than 3 metre high rock sculpture. The ghastly visage seemed to look right at us. Its presence made me uncomfortable and I desired to move on. I saw some items by the statue, which must have been put there by people from a nearby village, presumably in an attempt to appease the drawing gods and make the eyes a little less wonky. What we got? Tome page of Spring's creation and some cocoa leaves. Take it all. We took what was useful to us from the apparent sacrificial offerings. Brother Thaddeus was visibly shaken by the encounter with the mysterious statue. We have angered the spirits! So he's just become superstitious. That's fine. We can get rid of that. And, I mean, 48. Yeah, let's get there first. We'll make our mind on what it is and go from there. It doesn't look like I can get across here anyway. Oh, no, I can't. That's fine. So, enters the hut. We entered a mysterious-looking hut. The place smelled of old, dank wood, with all sorts of dried herbs and other peculiar things hanging from the walls. A native shaman approached us with an absent stare as he chewed on some leaves. As if time was moving slow for him, the shaman got out a box and presented his wares. What you got, Mr. Shaman? Effortless movement, mountain creation, eagle scout, fire. Effortless movement would be good. Do you want to exchange it for a Springs creation? We're not too fussed by that. Like for like, works for me. Works for me. And yeah, we're good. We are good. Well, I say we're good. How much sanity are you going to give me? None. Bastard. Okay, well, we're going to have to eat the cocoa leaves, I guess. What was it? Only 10 sanity? Oh dear. Her codge quivered with a terror as a butterfly flew past. We're not worried about her. We're dumping her at the end of this episode. So 40. 100% sanity. Wow. That was completely pointless. Let's get out the old campsite. And let's rest for a bit. I instructed the track to halt and I told the people to rest. This was a good place and I was sure we would get some well-deserved rest here. After dinner I cleaned my compass and noticed that the needle behaved unusually. Perchance a natural and magnetic site was interfering with it? I haven't really been paying attention. They don't really fuss me, magnetic mountains. I just get on with it, you know, it's the Brit thing to do. Sleeping with a roof over one's head was a luxury we were seldom afforded, so let's do it again. We settled down to catch our breath. It was a beautiful night and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. It was a fine night. Hakaj, Brother Thaddeus had a pleasant time as they sat on a large stone and regaled us with a tall tale. So, 120 out of 130? It's good enough, isn't it? It's good enough. It was time to pack up camp and sally forth. I told everyone to put the equipment back into the crate so we could depart. Alrighty, well, let's crack on, shall we? I'm hoping there's nothing on that right-hand side, in the bottom right-hand corner of this region, because it looks locked off. Of course there is. Oh, it's the pyramid. Well, we're going to come back this way, I figure, unless we go northwards. Yeah, you know what? It's probably safer to come back the pyramid way. 40% chance of going insane in the membrane, even if we have the strawberry. 20%. I'm willing to take that risk. I'm hoping it springs. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Our trek ceased at natural hot water springs. The water had a strong colouring, although I had heard of the healing properties of such. Oh, yes, yes. We decided it would be a good idea to stay here, and I told the people to rest. One soul was staring back from the abyss. Even the warming flames of the campfire did naught to ease our minds. Times were dreadful, and Hakod was my only human companion. What? I mean, that's not a very nice thing to say about the clergy. You know, we're all human here after all, even if you don't quite agree with the being in the sky compared to you seeing into the future. Just saying. We all measure ourselves on different measurements. It was just a matter of time until we got into a pointless argument. I don't exactly recall how it started, but it involved a blunt account about the differences between my inabilities and the jungle monkeys. We did not speak for the rest of the day. Oh well. Never mind. I'm sure we'll get past it. We're all adults here after all. Days went by pleasantly. The water sparkled in the sunlight as we prepared to leave. Bathing in the hot springs had astoundingly healed our wounds. Awesome. While sitting around the campfire, we heard an unsettling rasping sound coming from behind a nearby tree. Oh dear. A young native with bloodshot eyes and an infected wound lay shivering behind the tree. Not a lot we can do for you, I'm afraid, friend. Without the use of medical supplies, we could do naught to help. The shaking soon stopped. But hey, we filled up on meat, so everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner. Days went by pleasantly. The water sparkled in the sunlight as we prepared to leave. Bathing in the hot springs had astoundingly once again healed our wounds which we did not have. While we were sitting around the campfire, Brother Thaddeus stepped forward and gave a talk regarding fate's hand in bringing us together to experience these majestic marvels. Sister Auguste listened in silence, and afterwards she seemed to have discovered a new perspective of our venture. Fate? A priest is going on about fate? Pretty sure that's not right. And I think we're done here. Let's get out of here ASAP. We don't really want to be bringing on the wrath of the panther if we can help it. We could do with some red dye. Any red dye would be good. Loyalty's gone up a little. Let's promote you. We get extra sanity. And examine the shrine. A large building loomed in front of us. All manner of plant life grew towards the sun. Grand stairs led up to an enormous doorway. We found some sticks planted firm in the ground. Someone put ghastly human heads on their sharp end. Their mouths had been sewn shut as if to silence them. I don't recognise that one. That's going to be interesting. We arrived at what seemed to be the treasure chamber. We quietly looked around the majestic hall. I held my breath as we discovered an ancient altar in its centre. Oh! A tome page of mountain creation? Let's take it all. What a glorious day. The artifact would sit atop the altar no longer. First, I did not notice anything being different. Whatever took the people, I hoped it would not take me. At least I got some peace and quiet. I mean, yeah, I'm there with them on that. I have no idea what's... Is someone supposed to be chasing us? Is one of us injured? I have no idea. I mean, as long as the elephant doesn't attack us, it's a win, I think. The pyramid of gold was our goal, but for the claiming. Pluck will do it every time. I had completed my journey, but for what price? Now all that was left was surviving the journey back to my vessel. Now, I'm not going to call it here, like I did last time in the first episode. Oh, we've got a bloodthirsty thing roaming around the village, which is fine, because we're nowhere near the village. It's a win-win. We came across a stone circle that seemed to be man-made. Hakod seemed visibly upset at the idea of desecrating the spiritual site and warned us about incurring the wrath of the gods. You know what? I know where that cave is, so I'm not too fussed about locating it and upsetting more people. I mean, she could leave if we did that, and that would not be good. We located a cave. Its opening seemed to lead deep into the darkness, and we needed a torch to move inside. We got blue. I say okay. I instructed everyone to form a line and prepare for the darkness. We stumbled forth into the darkness. I was surprised that we forged through without any injuries in the darkness. Eventually our eyesight adjusted to the darkness. We arrived at a small cavern scattered with the remains of what seemed to be a failed expedition. In the darkness, a few remnants were long rotten around the darkness. All the bones we found had been cracked open and, in the darkness, it seemed, in the darkness, sucked empty of marrow. There we go. To our surprise, one of the rotten crates still held some valuable equipment. You got to have a little bit of fun. I've played this game so much. It's like... We're going to take it all. Right, so we are on 9 sanity. Let's eat as many of those as we can. And the strawberry. You know, everyone's going to have pudding. And we should hopefully be able to get pretty close to the boat before running out of sane juice. So let's examine the shrine. We arrived at a majestic structure, seemingly a holy shrine to the inhabitants of the region. It was a bold testament to the power of its creators. Grand stairs led up to an enormous doorway. We found some sticks planted firm in the ground. Someone put ghastly human heads on their sharp end. Their mouths had been sewn shut as if to silence them. We carefully entered a well-preserved ceremonial chamber. If this place held any riches, I knew we would find them here. An altar illuminated with breathtaking ambiance stood atop a plinth. Oh, lots of gold. Lots and lots of gold. We'll take it all, thank you. This was not a day for hesitation. The treasure was ours for the taking. Suddenly it felt quieter here, more peaceful. Something took them away. I hoped. I didn't just wipe out humanity. Well, we'll never know because we're going to leave. I hope my captain's still there. We are 2 slots over beyond, so can't eat any of those. I mean, what can we drop? What would we want to drop? 80% madness. I haven't really used my scrying bowl and my book that much. I'm sure that will come in handy more next time around. I mean, the cans, alright. Torches are cheap. And so's wood. So let's get rid of those. 20%. I mean, 20. Still 20. Does that... It does not consume weight capacity. Does it stay though, or does it carry on to the next expedition? Guess we'll find out in a second. Boom. The captain greeted me as we approached our ship this morning. Laying eyes on her again made me feel a little homesick. Well, let's go home, shall we? Let's go home victoriously, even. Our triumph here was beyond our wildest imaginings. I judged on what we had gained versus what we had lost. Our vessel set a course for Britain. I could not wait to get back home and talk about what we had found here. After all this hardship, great joy overcame me. I knew this name, Michel de Nostredame, would be forever remembered. Leave the horror behind! Success! So, where did we finish? I very rarely keep an eye on there. You know, as long as you finish, that's a third. That's fine. You know, to finish on certain death, even on the first map, is sometimes miraculous in itself. What a day! What a day. I'm just doing the Lord's work. Right, so we can choose from Jungle Explorer. We can have Fresh Air Fanatic. Or we can have Treasure Hunt. The surrounding treasure locations will be automatically marked and the treasure map will be obtained before each adventure begins. Now that's interesting. I've still got the more perks mod installed, and that is interesting. The thing is, you do need to carry spades then. But even so, I mean, sanity isn't an issue because we've got the tent from the off. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to take the treasure hunt and hope some bloody spades come our way. So, old Darwin, he's up there with the best of them. Tubman's alright. Stark, a little bit below. Kingsley, nowhere near. Where are we? Just before Stark. We've got no money. We have to play this pretty well, actually. So we're going to sell the jewels. How much are these worth? We've got 70 fame, 70 fame, 50 fame. So we shall gift that. That puts us pretty nicely into second position, although we're way behind Darwin. jeez. And then we're going to sell the vase to give us 70 funds. And that is where we're going to leave this episode. Next time around, we can either go to the Dark Desert or the Valley of Arctic. The Valley of Arctic. I don't know why I made that noise. Thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.